Hey everyone, welcome to Lifting His Name podcast, where four friends on different journeys with Jesus come together and discuss real life and where we can just glorify God. Enjoy. Okay, so welcome guys. We're one short but still excited. I think we're just going to kind of spitball this episode. Let's just have some real conversation. For me right now, I'll just get it flowing. I am feeling the spiritual attack in the growth aspect. I'm feeling distracted, lazy. It's frustrating. Mm-hmm. And it's like that inner part of you that just says, I want to go delve into the word. I want to go do this or that. And I am just, next thing I know, I'm scrolling, or I'm just cleaning, or I'm watching a show I haven't seen in forever. And I don't even really watch TV very much at all. But I just find myself easily just pulled into anything but. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm battling a little bit of a should be working on some things for his kingdom. And I'm just not. Mm-hmm. So that's where I am today.
You feel like you know what you want to do? Like when you say working on things for his kingdom, you already have a plan. You like feel like you know what you're supposed to be doing, or is it a lack of like, I don't even know where my path is, or you kind of have the path is a little bit there?
There's a good question because I don't know which one it is.
Okay.
You know my brain. I can have both thoughts where I'm like, I should be working on XYZ.
Right.
That have come to me before, but I just haven't, because I'm like, there's no way that I'm supposed to be doing this or that or whatever. Mm-hmm. Because it's not something I've ever done before. And then there's moments of like, well, are you sure that's not just you thinking you need to be doing that? Like, right. You're just putting expectations out there because that's another form of spiritual attack, is you're not doing enough. Mm-hmm. So are you just coming up with things? So yeah, I think I'm feeling stunted because I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. There are a couple of things I'm like, I need to do this. Like I really feel called to do a bigger fast than I've done and things like that I'm just not spiritually, mentally prepared for. Mm. But again, am I being hindered? So my overthinking brain is going to absolutely pour me down a pit of overwhelm. So, any relation?
Yeah. Mine falls more in like, where is my path? I'm like, I'm ready. Like I pray the prayer. It's like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Whatever you have for me. And then I'm like, I don't know where to step. Like, I'm ready to walk on your path. Which one is it? So I sent you that video. Yeah. Where it's talking about, like deciphering signs from God. And it's like, was this a sign? Am I supposed to do this or that? And it was actually, she had told me this before because I had
don't remember this, by the way.
Oh, really? So, yeah. Back to when I was, we were figuring out if we were going to put our daughter in private school or not. We were praying, what school's right? This school, this option, this school. There's like 5 options. What are we doing? Please just tell me what I'm supposed to do. And at one point she said, her words were, it might not matter. And that was really hard for me to hear from her, just that version, because I was like, of course it matters. In my head, I'm like, I met my husband first day of freshman year of high school. Yeah. Like it matters what school she's in because it matters. And that's just my head. And so I was like, what do you mean it doesn't matter? Mm. But I saw this video, this girl's asking somebody about, deciphering signs. And it goes into, he didn't think his take on it was, it's not so much that as it's like, there's a framework. God has given us with his word, what we're supposed to be doing. And so you like bring it back to that. Yeah. And if you're within his framework, then you're not sitting here having to like align the stars and decipher a note that's like, every decision, am I supposed to go left or right? And I think we've talked before about clear answers, clear signs when we're praying and seeking something where God has said yes or no. And I have experienced that also. So for those things, I do think he does speak to us. And, if you're listening and but in other things, it's like you're in his framework. He gave us free will. Part of that is to just step on that path and go.
This is making me think of something I saw about that makes so much sense, and I love that it was rephrased. You know how everybody's like, God's plan will work out. And he changed it, and he was like, instead of saying it's God's plan, you should say God has a plan for it. Meaning we have our free agency to make choices. And like you said, we have a boundary set through the word that simply kind of gives a general guidance. And within that, the choices we make that fall inside that, he has a plan for it. And I agree, sometimes there are moments where he's like, I could use you best here. So yes, go there.
Right.
Yeah. You know, in that regard, because might get a little deeper. Once we are truly giving our lives to Christ, it's one of those things where I gave up that free agency. I gave up that free will when my heart changed over. It to him. Yeah. When I gave it him my life, I give up what my flesh wants. Like, I want to know that I'm doing and going where he would best utilize me and need me to act. So it's kind of that gray area where it's like, yes, God has a plan, but we still have the ability to choose if we're going to follow that plan. And if we don't, or whether we do or whatever, he's going to plan accordingly. Like, because he's already there and he's already in it. So it's just a really fun, I don't know, we just went way down into that.
I like it
little thing.
No, but to bring it back, I mean, the enemy also wants to obstruct that plan and sabotage it and distract it. And, you know, on the one hand, the temptation is to say, you know, the devil made me do it. Or the devil distracted me. I was like, well, you're not that important. No, don't give yourself so much credit. Average person.
It's the devil.
It's the devil. He himself made me do it. Like, no, you're not that important.
I have a habit of saying adversary because the adversary is anything against God. And that's not just one being. There are tons of demonic fallen spirits that are demonic and are against God's.
But there's that same one where it's like, the devil didn't make you do it. That's a consequence of your choice.
Exactly. That's what James says. So James will say that, the flesh is deceptive. It talks about how we are double-minded. You know, do you want God's path or do you want your flesh? Like, being double-minded is we want both, and we haven't yet committed to one. So people who still want to like claim Jesus for fire insurance, like they're a get out of hell card, but yet also want to live the way they want to live. That's what James had in mind about being double-minded. Like, you haven't yet committed yourself to one path. You still kind of want to dabble with sin and have fun, and but we don't want to yet fully submit ourselves to Jesus and repent of a lifestyle of sin. That's like, you know, when the Lord is inviting us into mission with him, I think the one thing we have to really commit to is, when I say yes to Jesus, I'm saying no to my flesh and I'm saying no to my sin, lifestyle, perpetual, habitual sin, not these like, you know, people not call it backsliding.
I didn't murder anyone today.
it's I mean, kudos, because that's hard. No.
Good for you. Some days it's hard. But it's this idea of, yes, we may stumble, we may make mistakes. Mistakes and habits are very different. And I think often in the Lord, when he's inviting you to more, the Lord's not going to give you more than he can trust you with.
Yeah.
That is, I think, the misconception of the Lord. It never says anywhere in Scripture more than you can handle. That's not biblical. The Lord will not give you more than he can trust you with, though.
Yeah. Right.
That is, I think, a more profound question is, how much can the Lord trust you with?
Yeah.
And maybe the Lord's resistance to give you more in your life is not so much an inability of your capability. It's more an inability of what the Lord can trust you with, because of how the Lord knows your heart will...
Or how you've acted on things he's already given you.
Yes, and the enemy, here's the other part of it. The enemy knows that too.
I'm not attacking. I know.
The enemy cannot create anything. All the enemy can do is mock what God has done and mock what the Lord calls good, and tries to throw back in the face what the Lord has called good and has invited others to do. So the enemy wants to distract you from that invitation, right? So the enemy knows your weaknesses, just like, the Lord knows what you are prone to do. And so your flesh is kind of caught in the middle. It's not so much like angel on one side, devil on the other side, of your shoulder. That's a great, I think, image because our flesh is prone to, kind of waffle between the two. Mm-hmm. But, the Lord is inviting you to more always. The enemy is inviting you to counterfeit good always.
Okay, so back to my original struggle.
Yes.
Where I'm like, I can't tell if I am just not doing things that, because they're what my mind is like saying, you should do this or whatever. Because none of it, okay, I'm sorry. My brain is trying to say too many things at one time.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is,
for sure.
Because it's one of those situations where my thoughts go, you should work on podcast more. You should work on a book. You should work on doing XYZ. Like, how much of that is just because I know I would enjoy the fun and the fruits and the aspect of it selfishly, as weird as that sounds. But then also it's like, but then at the same time, that lazy part of me, that tired, I should say, part of me more than lazy, and easily distracted part of me pulls against it. So does that make that God would rather me do those things, but my flesh is holding me back, and the adversary is holding me back? Or is it, okay, I can go into my...
Here's me immediately, which I could be wrong. Absolutely. I don't know. But my immediate gut Beth response is, why are you not supposed to enjoy something that you're like, that's you and your like negative self-talk and you're like, I'm not doing I should do, like, you're feeling selfish by doing
side of everything.
And I'm like, my side, I'm like, yay, that's fun. Yeah, let's do
Good
it.
for
like,
you. Yeah. Treat yourself.
There's a little bit of yourself.
I'm just like, why would you feel that doing something you have felt called to do that is in his name, why are you not allowed to enjoy that?
Well, yeah, and that's my point, is the Lord, I think the Lord delights in our passions too.
Yeah.
When our delight, I think we have to remember the Lord gives us passions for that are redeemable passions for Him. The enemy won't give you passions to know the Lord and have a relationship with Him. He'll give you passions for anything against it. But when your passions are aligning with the ways of God, we have to imagine, hey, that is from the Lord. And I think the Lord delights in our passions in those ways. That doesn't always mean He's going to just say yes. Because, for example, I have a lot of friends who wanted to have kids. I think you could easily make an argument that the Lord delights in childbearing, and delights in in fact, we're commanded to do it. So how do we wrestle with, how do we hold in tension the Lord, commanding us to be fruitful and multiply, which could also be not just about childbearing, but also about discipleship. We have to remember we're not just being fruitful and multiplying people. We're also physically, but also spiritually. That's a whole sidebar. You can be. The Lord can say no to you having physical children, but yes to you having spiritual children. And we've got to be comfortable at some point holding the two in tension.
Yeah.
But I digress. The other part, oh gosh. Just totally lost. Yeah. So back to your point, the Lord may be saying, yes, delight in these things. I give you, yes, I want you to have fun in these things. But but before any of that, the Lord, I think, wants our hearts first. To know, like, hey, I just want you to delight in me first and foremost. Let's just have a relationship. Don't feel the pressure of having to perform or have high output.
I think that's why I hit these brick walls of like, well, it's not just that, because I do delight in it. Like, that is,
sure, I'm not saying you don't.
That's the peak of my happiness in life.
For sure, joy, yes.
But it's also like one of the things that I've been repetitively told I should do by chance, even though it was already kind of put in my mind. And then I have people saying it to me and I'm like, ugh, okay, got it. But at the same time, it's something that I'm like, I have no idea how to do that. That's completely overwhelming. Yeah. I wouldn't even know where to start. I don't even know why, like, of all things. And so I guess that's where my mind goes, why would that even be asked of me? I don't have a clue. And I know it's one of those take a step in faith, like God will provide and God will make things happen that He intends to happen. But but I guess that's the flesh side is like, what? That's not me. That's not for me. Surely not. I just came up with that on my own. That wasn't for me. Like,
so I think this is something I've been wrestling with recently this past year and a half or so. And I'd love if we all answered this. I think it's maybe even a generational thing. Do you feel like you have permission for self-care? Like, do you feel like you have permission to engage in self-care? Like, and I think, for many people, they would say, I think so. But then when it comes down to it, we have blocks of time to rest and really like love ourselves. For me, and I'll speak for myself, I feel guilty.
Yep.
I feel lazy, and I feel like I'm not producing. So therefore, since I'm not doing, and I'm just have time to like practice being a human being, I feel guilty, lazy, worthless, and meaningless.
By just resting? Are you resting?
Okay.
Well, and that's the question.
There's a line, I think, between rest.
What is
I watched
what is rest?
Tim Tebow video. He was with the Jared.
I know exactly what video you're talking
about. Run. Michael sent it to Adam.
Yeah.
Rest is self-care. Self-care and rest. I think the two have to go hand in hand. But what does that mean?
Well, Tebow said one in there. He was talking about like it's important to rest, but it's like rest with God. You are resting with Him.
He's referring,
he's
not just referring to the rest in me and biblical like. I'll give you rest.
Abide.
And yes, and he's basically saying like anytime he's just referring to abide with me, like be with me and it will provide you rest.
Right.
But I think that and maybe what you're referencing as well, not just spiritually, but millennial generation. We were raised with a go, 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 go. Always be doing, always work harder, always try to reach the peak. Like that's, we got the biggest scammed into college, honestly.
Truly.
This is the reality.
Truly.
College is a scam. I'm going to put it out there. But I'm with R.I.P. Charlie Kirk because I was with him on that. College is a scam.
Trade schools are the future, right?
Yes.
Unless you want to go be a surgeon.
Yeah.
Go do something that actually requires...
Sidebar. Yeah. My thing about that is everything that you want to do should be a tech school.
Sure.
It should be solely focused on that.
And it should all be accessible.
You don't need American Lit to go be heart surgeon, okay?
Fair. Totally fair.
Everything should be a tech school.
Yeah, with some caveats, I think some things that don't get enough attention are really important. Like, we could go down a whole rabbit trail.
Episode ideas.
Oh, that's right. I know, that's right. I was going to say history is really important for the average, but
correct history.
History is presented.
Yeah,
like that's where it gets really difficult because. Yeah. There's a whole. I remember who said this. I probably should know this. Speaking of history, it's like he who writes history is in control and has power.
Absolutely.
And so whoever writes history is the one who creates the power to determine what actually happens. So there's
like
we don't need to go down that
company that bought all of America's textbooks in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes. So hashtag your favorite conspiracy podcast. Yeah. You go to that for more information because. There's a lot of, that's a whole other thing, but that doesn't, defeat the point because what happens if you don't know history is history will repeat itself. The enemy is this, absolutely. I'll down this hill to tie this back. The enemy is not creative. The enemy is crafty. The same stunts and tricks the enemy has used since the Garden of Eden work the exact same way today. It's no different.
It's like that we've talked about that before, how the book of Revelations could be tacked onto any downfall of an empire. Like almost every single time it's been repetitive. Okay, hold on.
Which is why we can.
I want to get all.
Yeah, which is why we can apply the truths of Revelation to today. But most of Revelation, you get popular from a little clip. This would be it. Like most of Revelation has already happened.
Yeah.
Jesus hasn't come back. But the letters to Laodicea, the letters to all the churches, those were specific letters for those churches. America is so prideful. The West is so prideful that we think the Bible was written about us and to us.
I know.
It wasn't. We can apply and extract those truths and apply those today and go, oh, wow, we have a lot of similarities to that church that was written to.
Clarify. Yeah. We think it was written to us solely.
Right.
It was written to us. It was written to all created
humans all time.
Of all time. People. But I just because that could get spun. But with all that so many different things that we could discuss in every bit of that. What's the push through? Okay, so because I'm sure I'm not special. Everyone has faced
You are special.
You are.
Well, but in regards to, we've all felt hindered, and I feel like a lot of people, maybe not everybody, faces is it me or is it something bigger than me that is pushing distraction? Well, I mean, I know that distraction and stuff. Back to my original point is
what do you do next?
What am I doing? What do I do? Because I'm so easily falling into this distraction, falling into this like overwhelm of task. And it's kind of like what you were talking about. It's that, I'll call it the millennial burnout. Raised in an aspect of work more, do more. You can't go have fun until you've done this, and this. And that's totally a shot.
And if there's stuff left on the list, then you can't.
Yeah.
Nothing against our parents. Have amazing parents.
Great, wonderful parents that again, most parents do the best they can. Do the absolute best that they can.
With what they know, with where they are.
With what they know, with what they come from.
100%.
Everything. Yeah. And it's the same for anyone now who's a parent that they're like, this is hard. Yep. You're doing the best you can.
It created a good work ethic in our lives.
Yes.
I will forever say we will always have a job because we can outwork
anybody.
Most other people. Yes.
So
until you wake up and then you say, I'm not doing that. I'm not kidding. Because on the millennial side, that was me. I worked. I didn't have to even. We were double income, no kids. Yeah. We were like, this is great.
The dink life.
Yeah, we were dinking it up, just hanging out. It was like, we used to joke about, people put the little stick figures on the back of their car. It was like their whole family. It was like us and a boat and a bag of money. And we're like, yes,
thank you.
But yeah, and it's like I worked and we both worked full time all the time. And then we're like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And of course, having kids, that was something we had discussed early on. I worked in childcare and I knew I didn't want my kids to go to daycare if I didn't have to. And so when we had kids, I stopped working.
Yeah.
And now 7 years post that, I look back at it and it's like, I had a lot of great times and I was doing really well. And there's like a lot of really good things from it. But I'm like, I will never do that again. Yeah. I will never trade my time for money.
Yeah.
Money doesn't matter that much to me. And again, preference that with I am very blessed and in a very good situation where I don't have to stress and rely on that. So I know that is a very different.
So back to my problem. So here's where I sit. Single life, own a house, have my car, working a job around the clock to make sure all things are covered. Come home, I need to work in my house because it needs to be cleaned. It needs to be kept up. It's still got a subfloor in there. But, so my life, kind of going off of what you were saying, feels like constant work. And so when it comes to time with God, while it's always going here, I'm always in conversation, like, I get to the end of my day and I'm like, I just want to zone out.
I'm tired.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to think. I don't want to have to read. And I think while I know that I am filled when I'm in the Word, my broken brain is all like,
I'd rather scroll.
I'd rather just not think. I'd rather just not even clue in. And it's hurting me. I can feel like the disconnect from that. So
solutions, if that's what we're doing.
You know how I do with this.
I know, but isn't that your whole question? Easy. What's your next step?
I know.
So, I mean, when you say you've done this before where you're like, I'm removing social media from I'm removing these streaming services. I'm turning this stuff off and you center the distractions back to Christ-centered. So that the distractions that are around you are less, I don't know. I mean, that's the same thing I do. I'm like, oh, I have Facebook on my phone again. Oh, I deleted it. Oh, I have it. Oh, I deleted it. Oh, because it's just, I'll get scroll. And it's such a waste of time.
Challenge being to share what's building his kingdom. I have to be on it and I hate it. That's why I voiced to y'all. I was like, I hate posting.
We got to find
stuff because it easily pulls me into the distraction. And thank you, Lord, that my algorithm is very Christian centered.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's not, but even that can be really bad because it's just a bunch of other people giving their viewpoints and discussions, and it can like.
They're always it's always the hook. It's always the like,
and it's always something that
controversial, make you wanna,
a lot of the time it makes me angry because it's just everyone's talking about who's right and who's wrong, and I'm like, golly, that is not the point. Get off it.
I saw a video the other day. Speaking of social media, but he was like, "Oh, look over here, riots and this. No, focus on Jesus. Oh, look over here." It's like left ring, right ring, back and forth. It's like, no, focus on Jesus. No, focus on Jesus. It's like, stop being so distracted. Focus on Jesus.
Wow.
So
yeah, it's
easier said than done, though, for real. To tune out the world.
Yeah.
Right. And I think the question you have to ask when it comes to like meaningful rest, you know, when we think about, we get to the end of the day and we're just spent. You know, we work hard, we've had a lot of high output, whatever it is, we're just tired. What does meaningful rest look like? And the question that I've kind of gone back to, I try to go back to, is what are the things that give me life? Like, what are the things that when I do, I just kind of go, that was nice. And, you know, for me, and sometimes I think in the moment, it feels like more work when we think about it. Like, so for example, for me, I consistently, when I spend time with friends, when I spend time with y'all, like I leave going, that was good. But then but before it, you know, my wife will tell you the same thing. Like, I'm always thinking like, I
gotta get over there.
Like, you know, and, but
she
then
doesn't get that.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't. Afterward, I'm just like, that was great. Like going to dinner with friends, we're like, I forgot I made a commitment to that.
Yeah.
Was that you this morning?
Do we have to do that?
It's podcasting.
No, it wasn't. It was like, that was good. You know, but then like, so for the example, the other day, I had a longtime friend reach out. This was such a gift. Honestly, it was such a gift. And they reached out, and it was one of the kindest things someone could really ask. They said, "Hey, I need a friend, and I've just always admired you, even from afar. Like when we were young growing up, like you were just a great friend. And even like watching you, like social media and stuff, I've always admired you." And I'm like, wow, what a no kinder thing to say as someone in like my season of life, where I feel like I'm just trying to hold it together by a couple threads. And they basically said like, "Hey, can we be friends again?" And I was like, oh. And my first thought was like,
work. It's gonna be work.
Yeah,
it's the responsibility of taking on another. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I get it.
But then it was like, there's no higher compliment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, yes. Resoundingly yes. This was an invitation for a deeper relationship with somebody else. And so we're talking about like, hey, what if we did like you find some other couples that are kind of a similar season of life. Kids are driving us crazy. They're the best gift ever, but we're both just like, oh my gosh, can we just, my wife and I are just both like, can we just, please just, I don't know, we need somebody else to tell us we're not crazy. So like find some other couples and just have like a supper club. And, so we're starting to do that. Like what's like one night a month that we can commit to. And I'm just kind of scrolling through my calendar. I'm just like, I don't want to commit to something 2 weeks from now. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Like, what's life going to look like 2 weeks from now? And my friends, we were in Birmingham. One of my closest friends, he'd tell me the same thing. He'd be like, hey, when can you pencil me in? Like, I'm going to put the ball in your court. He's like, I know you hate committing to things a long way from now. So you tell me when you want us to spend time together. She's like, no, I don't want to do that. And like, part of me is like, I'm a horrible person. If
why
that
do you
is
not?
The perception.
Do you know why? Why you don't want to do that? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so going to.
I'm like, you want to look at my calendar? I'm like, April. So what are we doing?
This was, we won't go there, but like the helpful part of personality test. When someone revealed to me on the Myers-Briggs a certain personality, I guess the P, like the INTP. I don't know what I can't remember. Well, the P is like, do you like to make strict plans or do you like to kind of keep your options always open? I was like off the charts with want to keep my options open always.
Me too.
And
I don't know about that test.
It's unhealthy.
I already know that I do.
It's unhealthy, and so I have to learn how to kind of like lean in to be more balanced in that. So.
Because you're waiting for something better to come along?
Potentially.
Okay.
Or I just don't want to.
Or because you're going to be burned out and you don't want to go.
Potentially as well.
I think it's both. I think it's both.
Yeah.
Truly, because
you don't want to be committed
so hard.
for when you're like, the day comes and you're like, I feel I'm done. I have nothing
done.
left.
I got nothing left.
I can't even make a phone call.
I can't even talk to my best friend.
I literally called her and was like, hey, she goes, are are you, because I had like no energy in my voice, and she was like, are you okay?
I'm like, are you sick? Are you sad?
I'm like, no, I'm talked out. I have nothing to report, but I told you I'd call you, and I'm like, this is everything I can do to be on the phone right now.
Yeah.
So if a day like that comes and I've had something on my calendar, like you're saying, Jared, it's just like, I want to be able to say, guys, I'm sorry, but
See, I think that's the ticket, is the people that you're committing to should love you, know you, and we should have this, like, I don't want to go too far onto the side of like boundaries where it's like you don't show up for your people and you don't show up for your friends, like, I'm tired, I'm not coming to your birthday or whatever.
Don't be known as a flake.
But to have the people in your life that are going to be supportive enough that we don't get offended when someone says, hey, I don't have it in me today. I really wish I did, but I don't, and I don't want to come. Or, you can literally, the answer can be, I don't want to anymore. And it doesn't have to have, I'm sick, or my parakeet died, or, whatever the like list of excuses. It can literally be, and I know like we have that, obviously. You can always tell me.
It's not easily done.
Easily with everybody.
Also, when you have someone new that you're nurturing, a new relationship, you kind of have to give up your personal feelings.
That's the lines of like that showing up for someone else.
I have to show up anyways because like what you're talking about, the new friendship. Yeah, I don't want to make solid plans, but it is better to, you know what? I'm going to make them. I'm going to stick them out, even if it's
otherwise it never gets out of the group chat. It's like, hey, we should really get together. You have to be intentional with your time.
Yeah, and that goes to meaningful rest. I mean, some of that stuff, hospitality, hosting, those things, my wife and I, we love to do them. It's also like in the moment, I can tell it gives us life. Yeah. But then afterwards, there's like
so a little bit of dread ahead of time and a little bit of dread
afterward, but in the middle, it's so filling.
Oh my
it's
gosh,
so fun.
That's so random. I just can't.
I know
my
you can't
brain
relate.
Doesn't do it. My brain just doesn't do it.
She loves social life.
Yeah.
Like
I'm like,
she's co-leading a small group, and like the invite to the small group, I'm like, ugh.
I sent it to her, and I was like, I know,
mm-hmm.
but I just want you to know that this is open, and you're welcome, and you were officially invited. I love you.
Also, my brain was like, that would fill my cup, because if it's Christ-centered in that regard, it would be dreadful in the beginning because I'd know you probably and maybe one other. And then the rest, I'm going to be like silent. I don't know you people. And guess what? I am not the outspoken random question person.
Yeah.
Even though my job requires me
small
to be.
talk. Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, but that's harder for you too, in that sense of like, there's two different sides of being like social, like your job. You can mask up and like be social with your strangers / clients. They're just
introverted.
They're just people. Yeah. That's fine. Versus you having to come and be vulnerable in a smaller setting of people that you're trying to meet.
I don't play a role.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I feel like Will Ferrell.
You look at it and you're like, I have to just be me? Oh no.
In Talladega Nights, like, in those situations, I'm like,
what do I do with my hands?
What do I do with my hands?
So the other part, this is a great segue to boundaries. So one, connecting community, people who respect your boundaries. Mm-hmm. And so the other part of that is people who love you enough to know that when you're just being, when they know they need to pull you out and say, nope, you're coming, you're not getting out of this.